Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Our group is from the group 4. My name is Mohamad Nur Ridwan. My team members include Muhammad Norman, Muhammad Hazim, Wan Nur Aishah, and Maisa Damia. Our group topic is one of the software vulnerability, which is user requirement error. A software vulnerability is a flaw discovered in software that can be exploited to obtain control of the system. Software vulnerability have two types, which is technical and non-technical. For user requirement describe the functional and non-functional requirement found in the system. Two requirement is described using a natural language that can be understood by the user that is not in the team members. By that definition, we may conclude that user requirement error occur as a result of a poor technique in doing a user requirement analysis. Next, I will pass to my team members.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I will explain about the causes and effect of user requirement error. So the first one is requirement change during the development of the project. The common issue of user requirement error is the initial requirement of the project alter as the project continues. Customers are able to more clearly see problems with the original plan as development progresses and prototypes are developed. It also may occur because change in the external environment require reshaping the original business plan. Another reason why requirement keep changing is purely poorly defined and neglected requirement development process is a primary driver of change. So this situation will make the cost of development of the project increase. So the second cause is client have unreasonable timelines. A common mistake is to commit to such a schedule before conducting to analysis and knowledge of the project scope as well as the resource required to complete it. Accepting an excessive deadline without discussion is actually a disservice to your customer. It's very likely that the project will be delayed since it could not be complete on time or suffer from the fault because it was rushed to without proper inspection. So next I will pass to the next member.
Okay, thank you, Norman. So I will continue for the next point for the cause and effect of the user requirement error. So for the next point is development team doesn't understand the politics of customer organization. According to the researchers Bowman and Deal, an effective manager is one who views the organization as a contested arena and understands the importance of power, conflict, negotiation, and coalition. Not only is such a manager adept in operational and functional responsibilities, but he or she also recognizes the necessity of framing agendas for common goals, forming coalitions with shared goals, and pursuing skeptic of a position's legitimacy. These abilities are especially important when working on huge projects in large organizations where information is often fragmented and requirement analysis is hampered by issues of trust, internal conflict of interest, and inefficient information. The effect of it, the development team doesn't understand the politics if customer organization is the functional and non-functional requirement does not meet with the user requirement. So thank you, and I'll pass to my next group member.
Thank you, Hazim. Next is how to solve user requirement error. First is to trace the requirement is for whom. Requirements are taken from different during requirement gathering may be conducted in a different session with a certain type of user. It is important to know which user are for which user to avoid misunderstanding and to avoid conflicting requirements. Next is to request feedback from the customer. Customers tend to have a better understanding of the project when they are also involved in the development of the project. Get the feedback from the customer to fill in the missing and inaccurate requirements that were taken from the early stage. Next, I will pass to my friends.
Thank you, Aisha. Next is look back at the project objectives. If requirements are constantly changing during the development, refer back to the project object or what the project is trying to achieve. It is to see whether the change of the requirements are necessary for the project. Every change of requirements must have the agreement from every stakeholder together with the rationale of the change that has been made. And the last one, communicate between developers and stakeholders. There should be a mutual understanding between the developers team and the stakeholders. Communication is the key. The developers team needs to make sure that the stakeholders understand the complex process of software development and the duration estimated to complete the project while trying to understand the stakeholders' urgency of the project completion. The stakeholders also could explain their business process to the developer so that the good user requirements can be produced. Hence, these are the solutions to user requirements error. That is all from Group 4. Thank you for listening to our presentation.